Hello and welcome back, guys. So guys, you know that we're just start learning the HTML, so I think that we should take an introduction of the HTML first to go more. So what's in HTML? Basically, HTML stands for the hypertext markup language, okay, and HTML is a rendering language. Meanwhile, there are a lot of the programming language. HTML is the only rendering language right now. However, we have the CSS, which is the cascade style sheet, the styling language, but not the rendering language. The rendering language is only one, the HTML. Okay, HTML used to create web pages. Yes, we can create a lot of web pages using the HTML, but only for the designing. If you just want to program something, so you have to use some kind of programming language. Okay, so now we just cannot create any web page in any language without HTML. Even we use the JavaScript, we use the PHP. However, most of the big websites, in fact every big website which has some kind of program based on the ASP, the C#, the Java, or the Ruby on Rails, or the PHP, but you just cannot create any web page in any web language without using the HTML. HTML is not a programming language but a rendering language, as I said before. Okay, it consists of markup tags. It means if you just want to put any data, anything, for example, you just want to put the image, you just want to put the heading, so you have to use the markup tags: a starting tag, the ending tag, or the empty tag. The empty tag has no ending or a starting tag, just like the line break. Line break doesn't need the starting or ending tag, just a simple empty tag. HTML completely depends on its tag and attribute, which controls whole HTML document. Yes, as I said, that we just need to apply the tags. So exactly, for making the tags more interesting, we use the attributes. Okay, so basically the complete HTML depends on these both things: its tags and its attributes. Well, the interesting thing is HTML has a lot more tags, and each tag can perform different actions. Yeah, exactly. For example, by using the UL tag, I'm just naming the tag. Exactly, you just don't know about the tag, but you'll learn that soon. So for example, if I just use the UL tag, so by using the UL tag, we can create the unordered lists, and by using that tag, we can also create the navigation bar or the lists or etc, whatever. HTML is a loose language, but we should be strict when tagging. What's the mean of the loose language, or we should be strict? Actually, for example, you just put the starting tag and the ending tag, but in the starting tag you just maintain the case sensitivity. For example, you just maintain all the tag or the text of the tag is small, in small caps, but then you just make it capital in the ending tag. So HTML is a loose language, it has no problem, but you should maintain it case sensitivity. However, it's not strict. By the way, something more I just want to clear you, that what's the difference between the rendering and the programming language? The rendering language is the first and the only language is the HTML, so it's an static language. Okay, the rendering is language, any kind of rendering language is an static language. Okay, and here the HTML is a rendering language as well, and HTML cannot perform any mathematical function, which is a rendering language. We can design web pages using HTML. We have to combine the CSS to HTML to add some styles in our web page. HTML can protect any image, link, or text. Exactly, the rendering language means HTML cannot protect our images, links, or text. For this thing, we have to use the JavaScript. HTML is necessary to make form. Exactly, if you just want to design the form, you have to use the HTML. All programming languages are dynamic languages. However, you talk about the JavaScript, not like the HTML. Programming languages can be in two types: the client side or the server side. A client side language interacts with the client's computers, and the server side language like PHP, like ASP, interact with the server. A programming language can perform mathematical operations. Unlike the HTML or the rendering language, they can perform the mathematical functions. For example, if you just put the 1 plus 1 or the 2 plus 2, so a programming language gives us the result in 4. Okay, Unlike the rendering language, if you just put the 2 plus 2 in HTML, then you will get the 2 plus 2, not the 4, by the way. We can develop our web pages using any programming language, but here we are not talking about to design a web page, we are just talking about to develop a web page. We can protect images, links or text via a programming language. Yes, we can do that using some kind of programming language, just like the JavaScript, as I said. A programming language is necessary to make the HTML form workable. What the meaning that? I say that HTML is necessary to make form, yeah, but actually the designing of the form, the look of the form, and the face of the form is made by HTML. But if you just want to make that form workable, then you have to use the programming language, because exactly, if you just want to process anything, or you want to add some kind of process in your page, then you have to program something, so you have to use the programming language. So these are the things you must know about the programming language, rendering language in the HTML. So I think you just understood completely about what I'm just talking. So guys, we'll meet in the next class. Stay tuned and goodbye.